Dissolution of partnership firm. According to Section 39 of the Partnership Act 1932, the dissolution of the partnership between all the partners of the firm is called the dissolution of the firm. Now, this act also says that there is a difference between dissolution of some partners and dissolution between all the partners. अगर कुछ पार्टनर्स पार्टनरशिप डिसॉल्व करते हैं तो फर्म डिसॉल्व नहीं होती है. But if all the partners dissolve the firm, then this is known as dissolution of the partnership firm. No business is transacted after the dissolution except the transaction related to the closure of the firm, including the selling of the firm's assets, paying of the liability, and settling the various claims. Now let us see that what is the exact difference between dissolution of the partnership and the dissolution of the firm. In dissolution of partnership, the business keeps on going, whereas in dissolution of the firm, the business is terminated. All the assets and liabilities are revaluated in case of dissolution of partnership, whereas all the assets are sold in case of dissolution of the firm and all the liabilities are also paid off. In case of dissolution of partnership, the court does not intervene, but in case of dissolution of the firm, court can intervene. The economic relationship between partners continue in case of dissolution of partnership. But when the firm is dissolved, no relation exists between the partners. In case of dissolution of partnership, when only few partners dissolve the partnership, then the books are not closed. But in case of dissolution of the firm, when there is no firm, the books are closed. The firm may or may not be dissolved in case of dissolution of partnership, but the firm is dissolved when the dissolution of firms takes place. Now let us see the accounting treatment. First of all, we open a realization account to calculate the effect of the sales of the assets and the settlement of the liability. In case there is any profit or losses, that profit or loss is transferred to the partner's capital account in their profit sharing ratio. In front of your screen, you can see the performer of the realization account. There is a debit side and the credit side. First of all, we need to transfer all the assets and all the liabilities to the realization account. For example, land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, fixture, bill receivable, sundry debtors. Any provisions with respect to these assets are also transferred to the credit side of the realization account. After transferring the assets, the liabilities are transferred on the credit side of the realization account. For example, sundry creditors, bills payable, bank overdraft, outstanding expenses, etc. And then, whatsoever the cash is realized by the sale of the assets is shown on the credit side. We will be writing by bank account or by cash account as per the case. Similarly, when all the liabilities are paid, then on the debit side, we will be writing to cash or to bank. In case there is any realization expenses, then those realization expenses are required to be debited to the realization account. Any profit or loss, as we have discussed earlier, will be transferred to the partner's capital account. In case any partner takes off any liability to be paid by that partner, then it is debited to the realization account. In case a partner takes off any asset, then it is credited to the realization account. After this, any profit or losses arising out of the realization will be transferred to the partner's account in their profit sharing ratio. Now let us take one example. A and B are the partners sharing profit and losses in the ratio of 3:2. The following is the balance sheet as on 31st March 2010. We have on the liability side A's capital, B's capital, sundry creditors, reserve fund. On the asset side we have fixed assets, debtors less provision for doubtful debt, stock, cash and bank. The firm was dissolved on 31st March 2010 and the books were closed with the following information. Number 1. Debtors realized at the rate of 5% discount. Stock realized at Rs 55,000 and fixed assets at Rs 6 lakhs. Creditors were paid in full and realization expenses were 5,000. Now let us first of all prepare realization account. तो रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट बनाते हुए जैसा हमने पहले पढ़ा, सबसे पहले हमने एसेट्स ट्रांसफर करनी है और फिर हमने लाइबिलिटीज ट्रांसफर करनी है. So let us see which are the various assets that will be transferred. Fixed assets will be transferred for 5,90,000. We will be writing two fixed assets. Amount rupees 5,90,000. Then debtors. अब डेटर्स में देखिए वहां पे हमने लिखा हुआ है डेटर्स लेस प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट. डेटर थे 2,15,000 के और प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट थी 5,000 की. नेट डेटर आते थे 2,10,000. तो जब हम रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट बनाएंगे तो सबसे पहले हमने डेटर्स को ट्रांसफर करना है 2,15,000 के ऊपर रियलाइजेशन की डेबिट साइड पे, और जो भी इसकी प्रोविजन है उसको हमने रियलाइजेशन की क्रेडिट साइड पे ट्रांसफर कर देना है. सो वी विल बी राइटिंग टू डेटर्स 2,15,000 and by provision for doubtful debts 5,000. Then the other assets which will be transferred are stock amounting to rupees 50,000. Liabilities which will be transferred are sundry creditors amounting to rupees 5 lakh. And now we are going to see at what amount the assets are realized. So we will be writing by bank account on the credit side of the realization account. और the assets जो हमने रियलाइज की हैं वो है फिक्स्ड एसेट्स. फिक्स्ड एसेट्स को रियलाइज किया गया है 6 lakhs के ऊपर. स्टॉक रियलाइज किया गया है 55,000 पे, जबकि डेटर्स हमारे रियलाइज हुए हैं एट 5% डिस्काउंट. तो डेटर थे 2,15,000 के, 5% हमने उसको डिस्काउंट दिया, तो हमारे पास नेट अमाउंट आती है 2,04,250. Similarly, when we pay the liabilities, we write on the debit side of the realization account to bank account. अब liabilities हमने पे की sundry creditors amounting to rupees 5 lakh, तो हम लिख देंगे creditors 5 lakh. इसके अलावा एडजस्टमेंट में हमें दिया हुआ था that there are some realization expenses amounting to rupees 5,000. तो यही रियलाइजेशन एक्सपेंसेस हमने रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट की डेबिट साइड पर लिखना है टू रियलाइजेशन एक्सपेंसेस अमाउंटिंग टू रुपीज 5,000. Now let us see the balance of this realization account. क्रेडिट साइड का बैलेंस आया 13,64,250. और जब हमने इसमें से डेबिट बैलेंसेस माइनस किए तो हमारे पास टोटल बैलेंस आया 4,250. This 4,250 will be divided among two partners A and B in the ratio of 3:2. तो A को मिला 2,550 और B को मिला 1,700. After preparing realization account, we are going to prepare capital account. तो कैपिटल अकाउंट में हमने दोनों पार्टनर्स की कैपिटल का बैलेंस देखना है. बैलेंस आता है हमारे पास A's कैपिटल अकाउंट फ्रॉम द बैलेंस शीट 2 lakh एंड B's कैपिटल अकाउंट 1 lakh. तो हमने ये बैलेंस ट्रांसफर कर दिया पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट की क्रेडिट साइड पे जाकर, और हमने लिखा बाय बैलेंस ब्रॉट डाउन. ए के पास लिखा 2 lakh और बी के अंडर लिखा 1 lakh. देन देयर वाज रिजर्व फंड गिवन इन द बैलेंस शीट. So this reserve fund will also be divided among the partners in their profit sharing ratio. The total of the reserve fund was 1,50,000. 1,50,000 का 3/5 हिस्सा जाएगा A को, तो हमने लिख दिया 90,000. 1,50,000 का 2/5 हिस्सा जाता है B को, हमने वहां पे लिख दिया 60,000. इसी तरीके से अब हम देखते हैं कि रियलाइजेशन में A और B को क्या मिला. Profit on realizations are transferred to credit side of the partners capital account. तो हमने लिखा बाय रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट. ए के अंडर 2,550 और बी के अंडर 1,700. There is no other entry with respect to the partners account. Now let us balance it. ए का बैलेंस किया तो हमारे पास आया 2,92,550. बी का बैलेंस आया 1,61,700. अब यही अमाउंट हमने इनको पे कर देनी है, तो हमने डेबिट साइड पे लिखा टू बैंक अकाउंट. ए का आ गया 2,92,550 और बी का आ गया 1,61,700. Now let us prepare the cash account.